having that Christ connection now will affect you. It'll make a big difference in how you approach almost everything. In high school, my parents were going to one church, but a friend of mine said, "Hey Dan, we need some tenors in the youth choir at Manchester." So for my junior, senior year, I was at Manchester singing in choir, but then moved off to college and started doing other things. A lot of times as individuals, we think we can do it all ourselves, and I think that's really, at least for me, it has not been the case. I think once you start drifting away from going and being connected to that Christian community, it's really hard to maintain your faith. So we have two kids, Aaron and Abby, and they're both awesome. And really, that was our way back into the church. We had to find a church home because we wanted our kids to be part of a church community, and they loved it here through the years. When we finally got back to going to church regularly and all that, that does help deepen your faith and become more connected. You know, of all the different churches that we were going to, we went to the Episcopal church, we went to a Lutheran church, we visited a variety of different churches. But this was the first time I really heard that message, you know, taking your faith and living out your faith every day, preached regularly. Even today, there's times when I really struggle with faith. You know, I just try to hang in there. When I hit those low moments, I come to church, and this is a place where everybody is going to be, you know, kind to you, welcoming to you, trying to help you, and just friendly. I mean, that's the kind of place this is. What I've learned about generosity is part of it is just giving back. You're part of this place, and it's giving back to it to help keep it moving and keep it going and keep it growing, not just for what we're doing now, but even for, you know, future generations and passing it on. It's also really part of faith. God asks us to give, help those in need. For me, what's been difficult is I've been in debt all my life. So I know God wants me to give as much as I can to help people, to help the church keep going, but then you have to balance it versus, okay, I'm also in debt. So how do you reconcile that? It's kind of testing your faith a little bit, you know, and seeing kind of where you're at, and it really kind of tells you where you're at, you know, with what you're going to be doing with your resources. You're going to have to make sacrifices in order to you know, keep those payments. You're not going to be able to buy that car, you know, or whatever, because you have said, hey, God is important in my life, and this is what I'm giving. So I just have to really look at it, and I really think about, you know, if Jesus were standing there next to me as I'm trying to make these decisions, what would he be saying to me? It's a good exercise. It makes you think about, are we really putting God first in our lives, you know, and all those kind of deep questions. I think what's really helped us the most with this whole thing is the online giving, because then we can have that regular, this is just like our car payment or house payment or whatever, because we do miss Sundays and stuff like that, like everybody else does. So I think the process is good. No matter what number you end up with, I think it's a really good process to go through that reflection. So when I hear unfinished, that's the first thing that enters my mind is we still have more work to do to get the word out, to get the gospel out. I think the church has been important to the Manchester City area. So hopefully we can kind of carry that torch forward still and still be an important part of this community. It's changed our lives, it's helped our lives. You know, we really need to pass that on to as many people as we can.